My name's Richard from garagedoor-spares.com. I'm here today to show you how to change the cones and the cables on a Henderson, Merlin or any other garage door which has a long main spring across the top of the door, such as a Cardale, a Wessex or a King. First thing you do is to make sure you've got all the parts necessary to complete the work, such as the cones and the cables. We always make our cones and the cables easy for the customer to identify. So the red cone always goes to the right hand side and the white cone goes to the left. Next thing you've got to do is make sure you've got all the tools necessary to complete the work, such as a 4mm long nose pin punch and the tension tools. Before you carry out any repairs, you've got to make sure the garage door is safe to work on. If both your cables are broken, there's no tension in the mainspring, so the garage door is safe to work on. But if only one cable is broken, you've got to make sure that the tension is released from the cables, i.e. taking the tension off the mainspring. And the way you do this, quite simply, take one of your tension bars, put it in one of the holes in the collar, lift it up until you see the 4mm roll pin become horizontal to the ground. Once it's in that position, take a pair of mole grips and apply the mole grips onto the bar that goes through the main spring. Come across to the right hand side of the door, and in the bracket on the right hand side there's a hole. Take your crook pin out of your tension kit and knock it into that hole. The garage door is now safe to work on. Next thing you do, you've got to take off the plastic cone. Take your 4mm long nose pin punch and knock the roll pin out of sight, cleaning right into the woodwork, out of sight. Taking your new plastic cone and your cable, put your new cone on, attach the cable onto the roller spindle, and then next thing you've got to do is to knock the 4mm roll pin back into the cone. Line the hole up carefully with a roll pin, taking your 4mm long nose pin punch, and knock the roll pin into the plastic cone until there's just 2 or 3mm showing. Make sure your cable is running down the back of the plastic cone and attach it on to your roller spindle, making sure that the cable is not snagged in any way. Always change both sides of the cables on a garage door. I've already done the right hand side, so the next thing we've got to do is put the tension back onto the cables. This is easy. What I always do is take a screwdriver and just pop out the crook pin on the right hand side, and then taking your tension bars, put one of your tension bars into the hole into the collar and release the mole grips, and you will feel the tension comes onto the tension bar. Taking the other tension bar, put it into the next hole and let the tension wind back onto the cables very slowly. Check both sides, making sure that the cable is running down the back on both sides and making sure that the cable is in the outermost groove on both doors. Once this is done, you've got to then check the door. That's it for changing the cones and the cables on a garage door.